Hey guys, this video is made specifically just for Antioch Fellowship. If you're not Antioch Fellowship, this isn't really useful for you. I'm gonna be going over real quick just things with the projector, the presentation, the lighting, and also the sound. Alrighty, so this is our lighting board, I guess. It's our lighting fader thing, and it's very simple to use. I'll be showing you what each thing does as we go along with it. So first of all, you have to turn on the power button back up here. It will turn everything on. It'll start out on blackout and start on hold, right? So the full on button and sound button we don't use at all, so you do not need to worry about ever. Blackout button, it does exactly what it says. When you press it, it blacks out all the lights, right? All right, so the hold and the color mix is what we use usually. You don't have to worry about the chase one either. So the hold goes over these colors. There's a preset colors of red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, magenta, and white. When you press on these colors, it will go to these colors when you're on the hold option. If you go to the color mix option, it will allow you to control which color to use right here. By moving it up and down, you can fade through the different colors. This fader is for chase, the speed of it going. You don't have to worry about this one either. And this one is the brightness. This is the fader for how bright you want. Alright, let's start with hold. So you press on hold, it'll turn on, and let's turn off blackout. So now, whatever color you press, it will change. Alright, now if I go to color mix, the color will change based on what I fade it to. Fade it down, all the way to the bottom, it turns off. Fade it all the way to the top, it'll turn into white. There'll be different colors all the way along. This will change how bright it is. If I bring it all the way down here, it'll turn off. If I bring it all the way up here, turn off. Remember, when you want to turn off the lighting system, you have to press blackout. If you do not press blackout, and I just turn it off back here, the lights will stay on. So you must turn it on blackout before you turn it off. Alright, so the next thing we were going to go over is projection. So the application that we use here is ProPresenter. If you want to know how to use it more in detail, go refer to the ProPresenter video. I'm going to be just going over just quickly simple how we set things up. So here we have two remotes. This one is for the back projector, and this one is for the front projector. It's pretty self-explanatory. Front projector has the on and off button. The back projector has the on and off button as the same button. Although when you turn it off, it'll ask you to click it twice to turn it off. Alright. This is our remote. So this is the remote to be able to control the next slide. It's always plugged into this right here. Right here. Our projector will also be, our printer will also be plugged into here. Our camera and our mouse will also be plugged into here. But this will be able to control the next slide when you have it on. When you click on a slide, it will be able to go to the next. Alrighty, one last thing about our projection. Right now, our projection goes to this little VGA converter. So right now, everything goes into a VGA cable. All these two cables go to the front projector and the back projector. And this is one that goes into our computer, as you can see right here. Right? So right now, as you can see clearly, it says input, which is our computer going in, to output 2 and 3. It can be any of the outputs, doesn't really matter, into our projectors. Ideally, eventually we would switch this with HDMI, but it works. So that's just what you need to know. Alright, last but not least, we're going to go over sound. So sound, it seems a lot more complicated. It might be made out as a lot more complicated than it can be. Usually it is, but for basic usage and understanding, it's not too hard at all. So first, you're going to want to turn it on back here. Turn on the soundboard. And once you have turned on the soundboard, remember this button right here. If you take a close look, it says standby. It's going to be pushed down usually because what it does is that it mutes everything, all the first 12 channels, so that it's just as a second layer of defense, just in case something's not plugged in properly or you're unplugging something. You don't want to break everyone's ears by unplugging it without having muted everything. So usually it's muted. I'm going to go ahead and unmute it right now. here is phantom power. See this little red light? Phantom power, what it does, it sends 48 volts of energy back into the microphones from the soundboard. For some of these microphones, like the one I'm currently using, require power. You just have to see if, you can look it up online, or you can just know by if it's a cardioid mic or not. All right. Next, we have these individual channels. They're all labeled differently, and you can change the labels based on how you need it. But right now, it's patched in a way that how we use it. There's first two vocals, Vox 1, Vox 2, which Vox is just vocals, AGT, which is acoustic guitar, BAGT, which is backup acoustic guitar, bass, and if you have an EGT, you can plug into backup acoustic guitar, or you can put it into any of the other channels. You can patch it however you like. This is our snake. It goes all the way to the front of stage. You can use it, however you'd like. And if you want to know how to patch, how to do signal flow, go watch my other video about signal flow, and it'll better explain. I'll have more time just explaining how signal flow works, and you can be able to figure out how to patch on your own. They're all numbered, like literal numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and it'll come out the same on the other side, and you can figure out the patching on your own. Right here is the effects, and these are the individual effects per channel. So if this is Vox 1, let's say first singer, right, I can change how much of the effects I want to go into this one channel, and this is the master effects. I can choose how much effects I want to put into everything. Usually, I leave it around here. This is our main. The main should never go below 0. If it's too loud or anything, you should be, fixing it over here and making it not so loud. But the main should stay at 0. It shouldn't change. This is your faders, of course. You want to do your best to try to keep it at 0, because 0 means it's neutral. You're not adding anything to it. You're not subtracting anything from it. So you want to do your best to keep it at 0, if possible. If it's still too loud when you're at 0, what you can do, you can bring down the gain right here, the white one on the very top, the gain, bring it up and down. It'll drastically affect the audio, the volume. So this is one of the most common questions, what's the difference between gain and fader? So the easiest way to explain it is there's audio coming in, and you see the gain right here. The gain is how much you let into your soundboard. And the fader is how much you let out. Right? You can choose how much to let out and how much to let in, and that will drastically change how your audio works. This is the pan here and all the EQing. You don't really need to worry about any of this as the moment. You just need to know what is which. All right, and last but not least, here we have the PC. PC out, PC audio, right? It's the PC line. It goes directly into the PC from back here. It's pretty self-explanatory, and you just bring it up and down for the PC audio. Notice the PC audio is not affected by the standby mute. All right, so you need to be aware of that. So you bring it up and down. And of course, these are your mute buttons. You can mute the channels individually if you're testing it. All right, I think that is all you guys need to know for the basics of how the soundboard works. All right, here lastly, we will go over just batteries. So there will be 3 kinds of batteries we usually use. We usually use the 9-volt batteries, AAA, and AA batteries. AA batteries, just usual appliances, things that you may need for a lot of things. A lot of our things, such as like our remote for the projector, this uses AA. But things that use AAA, such as this remote, these all things use AAA. Our guitars and all our basses all use a 9-volt battery, at least one of the basses. So it's the blue one, so you need to make sure that battery is changed out every once in a while or it will not work. Same thing with the guitar. The guitar will not work if it's not changed. We have some labeled good batteries and used batteries here. If you just want to double check, you can use this tester. Very simple. If you want to test a 9-volt, you just stick it up on here. It'll tell you if it's good or bad, very simply right here. And you can stick a AAA or a AA battery in here, and it'll tell you if it's good or not. Very simple. Well, that's all. That's everything for the simple sound, audio, the presenter, and the lighting just for Antioch Fellowship. If you have any more questions, you can always hit me up. I'll probably still be alive. And yeah, I hope you took away a lot and learned much about how to operate this program. Thank you, guys.